Hello and welcome to the Wake Up and Smell the Mic S&P review, where daily, each morning, hopefully each morning, we will review the S&P 500 support levels, resistance levels, and basically where the S&P has been, where the S&P is now, and where the S&P 500 will be going, likely. So this is the introduction video, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself and my experiences in the markets. In the late 80s and early 90s, I was a security driver for a chairman and CEO of a big bank in Chicago, Illinois. And I was with him for about 4 or 5 years, 87, 93, somewhere around there. And I sure did learn a lot about financial markets just by driving him around, and colleagues of his that used to sit in the back seat. Stock tips, no, never really. If I did hear it, I didn't really know anything about it back then, so I ignored it. But I certainly did get an insight to how the heavy hitters of the financial industry think and invest, and just what they do for a living, and it was very insightful. Fast forward to 2017. In between those years, notably, I fell on hard times. I'm not a stranger to picking myself off the bottom and shooting for the top again. During one of those financial crises, I was lucky enough to have already prepared a small business restoring LPs and tapes to CD back when it was a popular thing for people to do. And you could see that with one of the videos I uploaded here is one of the pieces of work I've done. So then around 2017, I decided to invest some of my money that I've accumulated and put it in a storefront money manager. We won't name names, little strip mall, well-known money manager. And that was in 2017. So here we have a chart, right, like November of 2017, and you could see where we got in here right when I invested it back in 2017. Here's 2018. And needless to say, I was very unhappy with the way they handled my money, even though they're supposed to be fiduciaries and with your best interest first. It's in the real world, it's not like that. I started studying technical analysis around the time I gave him the money so I could follow along, and even the little bit I learned here in the beginning of January of 2018, I could tell that I I could tell that something bad was going to happen. I mean, even I knew that, and I hardly had any experience except for just following the markets and the news and this and that. Yahoo Finance, namely. And, I told him, like, around January that my manager over there is like, I don't know, something bad's going to happen, 2018 in January. And I said, can we, pull some of my money into cash, or, I want to get out. Or then, he just fought me tooth and nail to the point where I had to call up the headquarters and say, I want my money out. And it was like around January 14th of 2018. And then that was the first crash. So I had all my money out. And I was like, well, that's the first thing I did right. And so I said, now what? So, basically I just opened up a brokerage account with an online broker and put it in there. And the first thing I did was, I heard on the news that small caps were going to have a run. They were getting popular, so I bought a small cap fund. What's the name of it? I don't know. I didn't know at the time it was a 3x leveraged bullish small cap fund, and that was like in May. So let's see, March, April, and May. We had another leg down here, and so in May, end of April, beginning of May, somewhere like right around in this area right here, I bought this small cap fund, and it took off. And I said, boy, stocks is fun, And then I didn't realize till later that it was a triple leveraged, because I was wondering, well, why is it not making the money like it used to? And of course, you're not supposed to hold on to those that long. And so around this time, in June, now we had another pullback, so I actually got rid of it. Now I'm back into cash. And around this time, I said, well, I want to learn more about technical analysis. So then I just looked around online and found, I'll give a shameless plug to Tom Asprey, the Viper Report. And I said, hey, will you teach me, help me do this on my own, You guide me through this, teach me something, And so I joined up with him and learned all about, I didn't know what a divergence was. I heard, and I remember the boss back in the early 80s talking about the advanced decline line. I had no idea back then. I knew it was important, and Tom is an expert at the advanced decline analysis, so I got on board with him, and we did pretty good, all this time here. And then we start getting into, October of 2018, and we both saw something in the charts, which I'm going to show after this introduction. I'll make a separate video. I call it my top caller. It is possible to call a top. It's easier to call a bottom, but it is possible to call a top. So I'll show you that after this. And we got out. We saw something and we got out. And then it took another leg up. And then it's like, oh, we did the wrong thing, but stayed out. And then, well, we all know what happened there. Down to December. And I remember sitting at work on Christmas Eve on the 24th. and watching the bouncing ball go down, 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 and, I heard on the radio, or I was listening to some news and about someone said this is the bottom because the VIX is so high and this and that. I said, I agree. And I bought a bunch of stuff and went up. The rest is history. But that's my story. Then I ended up on my own. I still subscribe to the Viper Report from Tom Asprey. Every time it comes out, I look forward to it on the Tuesdays and Thursdays. I believe it is. Yeah. And great guy. So if you want to learn about stock market and trading, I would highly suggest looking Tom up. Shameless plug on Tom, but I respect him immensely. And then I actually got caught with my pants down a little bit here. Not bad. I saw that there was, something was wrong and something was about to happen. Things were getting too hot over here in February. But I started thinking about my future and bought some long-term bonds. It's the first time I ever did that, and the copper company Freeport McMoran, high interest. I was like, okay, what could go wrong? And well, that's what went wrong, and I couldn't figure out for a good long while how to figure out how to get rid of it. I bailed out and lost a lot of money on that, but for the most part, I bailed out around here, and then it hit the bottom, and I told myself again, just like over here on Christmas, I go, oh, this is it. And I didn't go. This was so shocking. Everybody knows this last COVID decline was so shocking that I went conservative. I didn't really get that much, and I actually got my granddaughter into something that I should have gotten into. But anyway, then we had another chance in April, and well, the rest is history, and that's where we're at now. And of course, we had an outsized decline here, so that's what this is about. The S&P review using technical analysis, and you'll see a lot of great indicators and things of that nature that you won't see in others. And I've tried all the during this time here, stock charts. I'll put out another shameless plug to stock charts. Get a stock charts account and learn charting, and get some education. I'm here to help myself, of course, with this, and I'm going to record it and let you watch and see what I look at every morning and see what I do. But during this decline, I realized that I was subscribing. I tried every subscription that I could see. A lot of people from stock charts started doing their own websites and subscriptions. They made some stock charts, made some changes around here around this time, and they're really good. But I subscribed to all of them, and ended up saying to myself, I really need to listen to myself after this outsized decline, and I jettisoned all these recently. I kept it through all this time, subscription, about 5 or 6 different subscriptions at a cost that was kind of a little bit shocking each month to realize what I was spending. But I jettisoned most of them, and I kept one, And I'm going to put out another shameless plug for Martin Pring. In the Intermarket review, his was the only one I kept. And I subscribe to Tom DeMark. I have Martin Pring, Tom Asprey, and myself, and that's where I'm at. So thanks for listening. That's my introduction and shameless plugs to people who I admire and respect, and stay tuned. I think I'll put the top caller video up next that Tom and I saw back here in September, October. Okay, thank you.